Whether for takeout food, clothing, gadgets, or makeup, we all order something online. But with every order, there's just a lot of packaging that comes with your package. Here's what we got when we ordered clothes: makeup and skincare products, takeout food, and gadgets. That's a lot of waste just for packaging, and these rarely get disposed of properly. All this packaging waste from online shopping is damaging our planet every day. Let's unpack the problem and learn why composting is the better solution to our waste problem, and why we cannot solve this by recycling or segregating alone. Did you know that e-commerce industry has grown by 31% in the last 3 years, and it is expected to grow more by $300 billion in 2025? Imagine all the packaging waste this produces. 48% of marine litter and plastic pollution in the Philippines is from packaging. It's the biggest contributor from 2017, and it is expected to continue to grow. In fact, COVID-19 has worsened the ocean plastic pollution problem. Drastic increase in use of masks and gloves has threatened the health of our seas. PPE has also driven to increased plastic pollution. So has the food industry, where single-use plastic is going through the roof as a result of increased takeout. What started as a health crisis promptly evolved into an environmental threat, and this is mainly due to pandemic response. 12 kilograms. That is how much plastic packaging a person consumes in average in the Philippines every year. 0.28 to 0.75 million tons of all this plastic packaging enter our oceans from the coastal areas in Manila Bay every year. Some of it you can recycle, but it's not the most efficient solution. It takes a lot of resources to produce a single-use packaging. These things we only use for a few minutes or even seconds before they turn into trash. When these trash are disposed of, even when we try to segregate them, they can still end up in landfills. All of those paper, plastic, and more are destroyed. This makes these packaging items no longer viable for recycling. All this waste also means we have to go out there and extract resources again and replace those single-use items. Our current waste management systems are just not enough to keep all this waste from polluting our waterways, oceans, and even the air we breathe. Composting is the better solution to our waste problem. Home composting is low maintenance. All you need is a compost bin and a little bit of garden space. Vegetable scraps, fruit peels, ground coffee, and eggshells. They can be put into your compost bin along with your compostable packaging. EcoNest Philippines prevent the consequences of plastic pollution by introducing eco-friendly products such as cassava bags when melted are safe to be consumed by living organisms. Sugarcane bagasse containers, when broken into smaller pieces, decompose as fast as 90 days, and other wood and paper-based packaging that are bio-based and biodegradable. Once fully composted, you can use it in your garden to enrich the soil. EcoNest Philippines continue to work with different businesses to cure mindsets of our community. We have teamed up with Bokashi Pinoy and Don Bosco Tondo in building small farms.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ferdinand Soriano from EmPHorium. Now, I want to ask all of you one question to get us started in this live stream. Have you ever wondered if there is a simple change we can make to reduce our environmental impact while going about our daily busy lives? I'm going to give you a moment. Okay, that's enough. You don't need to wonder any longer. I think as the co-founder of EmPHorium, we found a solution, or at least contribute to the reduction of what I consider to be a lot of waste, and also trying to make some sort of an impact to our environment. And I'm excited for this, what we call a product introduction. This show is called PHlexing Philippines, and it's produced by EmPHorium. And the job of EmPHorium is to create awareness and also sales opportunities for Philippine-made products here in the U.S. market. Now, this is called PHlexing Philippines, uncovering profitable Philippine-made products. Now, obviously, it's not all about just profit. It's also making a difference in environment, but also both of those sometimes go hand in hand. So with this product that we're about to introduce today, basically, it's just a very, very straightforward introduction of this amazing product from the Philippines that could make a difference in the way we impact our environment. So without further delay, I'd like to go ahead and introduce to you the guest presenter from a company called Saatchi Group. Her job is to create amazing awareness for this product, obviously. And what she's just going to be doing, just so to let you know, is she's going to go straight into telling you what this bag is about. And it's going to be lasting for maybe about 30 minutes. And then after that, if you're interested to find more about this particular product, then we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come right back and then answer all your questions. Hope you enjoyed this 30-minute presentation, which I call a product introduction of Saatchi Group's CASSAVA bags. So let me go ahead and bring up the guest presenter. Her name is Tina Baron, and here she is. Hi, Tina.
Hello, good evening to you, and good morning from the Philippines.
I know we always still sort of get that mixed up every time I call the Philippines, but at the end of the day, I am wide awake, ready to hear this, presentation. I'm sure there are a lot of people on social media today, at least on my feed, that were just asking and curious about it since I've been posting it for a couple of weeks now. So now they get a chance to take a look at it, see what they think, and then if they like to hear what they hear from us, then they can go stick around and ask more questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you the camera, so to speak, and just let me know what information you want me to flash on the screen. Okay, Tina?
Okay, sure. So, good evening to everyone in the US watching. Um, Ako Packaging is a local manufacturer of cassava bags in the Philippines. Um, we are really a pioneer for this product in the Philippines, and we hope that we can bring this to the States through resellers or even just people who want to use it for their businesses. So maybe we can start the presentation. Okay. So we all know definitely that there is a plastic pollution problem. And so we branded our company as Ako Packaging because we believe that everyone really has their own personal responsibility to really take care of Mother Earth. So that's why we call ourselves Ako Packaging. Next slide. So, as I'm sure everyone hears all the time, there's a huge plastic pollution problem, not just in the Philippines, but everywhere in the world. And there's a lot of mismanaged waste. So, next slide, please. We wanted to really focus on the solutions for this problem. So, renewable bioplastics is something that we thought would be one way to help the plastic pollution problem, right? So, cassava bags really fall under the category of renewable bioplastics. Um, it's renewable because, of course, it's made from plant based raw materials. Um, the cassava bags also really promote circular systems. Why? So I think it's important for everyone to understand that we should be consuming things that can easily go back to the earth, diba? Things that can easily be absorbed by our soil, whether you're in Los Angeles, you're in Hawaii, you're in Japan, or in the Philippines. Because whatever we consume nowadays, we're so mindless about what we buy. These things really turn into trash, can't be reconsumed by our earth. And so we experience all this flooding, we experience all this, um, well, basically all the changes in our climate, right? So our bags are easily absorbable by Mother Earth, and so it promotes circular systems. So for those that don't understand circular systems, please go look it up. Next slide, please. So our materials are made purely out of cassava starch. For those that are not familiar with cassava, just think of kamote. Okay, it looks very similar to the kamote, but it's white. But I'm sure, being if a lot of the people watching right now are Filipinos, you should be familiar with cassava and at least have eaten cassava cake once, right? So our bags are made purely out of cassava starch. So that means that it's completely microplastic free. We also do not add PLA or PBAT into our raw materials. So you may be familiar already, especially if you live in the US, you may be familiar with a lot of bioplastics that are in the market. But usually these bags are made out of corn, which has PLA or even PBAT. So PBAT means that it has petrochemicals. Our products don't have any petrochemicals at all. So when something doesn't have any petrochemical or microplastic, in turn, the bag is home compostable. So let's say you went to your weekend market and you use our cassava bags to buy produce. When you get home, you can home compost it already if you have a composting corner in your house. Okay, next slide, please. We also make sure that we have all the tests and certificates to provide for our clients, especially the big ones who are required um, by governments to follow their EPR laws. There is an EPR law in the US also, just like the Philippines. So we have tests and certificates to support our products. And it can help with all this plastic audits for companies. Next slide, please. All right. So, of course, we know that there are other alternatives in the market right now. It's not just, we're not saying it should just be the cassava bag, right? But we want to give everyone like a clear picture of where we stand in terms of price, strength, functionality, source, production, and disposal is also very important. So, first, let's start with price, diba? Um, we're really not going to be cheaper than plastic. We're not even aligned to the price of plastic because we're not plastic. However, if you compare our price to the paper bags, some eco bags, we can be cheaper at times, really. When it comes to the strength, cassava bags are actually quite functional and strong, but because it is purely plant-based, it is quite sensitive to moisture in the atmosphere, right? So we just have to be a little bit more open-minded about this new product. Of course, as I've been mentioning, the source of the cassava bag are plants. It's purely plant-based. We don't have any plastic or petroleum in the bag. In terms of the production, I would say it's quite sustainable because we don't use a lot of water to produce the bags. So, if we're really going to be strict about whether or not our packaging is sustainable, we should also look into how something is produced. So I'm sure some of you already know that a lot of water and power is consumed in the factories that produce the eco bags and the paper bags. Definitely, a lot of a lot of um, plastic is used in the production of plastic bags, right? In terms of disposal, I think the cassava bags would probably win in the world of alternatives because they are all home compostable. So, next slide, please. We can skip this slide and go to the next. All right, so our products. You know, our factory has only been alive since 2022. Um, we are still growing. We don't have the widest range of designs. However, we do have designs that can fit a lot of people's daily needs. So, next slide, please. One of our very popular designs is the t-shirt bag or the sando bag. This can definitely be used in groceries, in weekend markets. It can also be used for bazaars. It can definitely be used as takeout bags for restaurants. So this is really bagay for those kinds of activities, which we find we do every day. So, calling out all these Filipinos or kababayans who own groceries in the States or restaurants and you're still using plastic takeout bags, please try to consider the cassava bag. Next slide, please. We also have this design, which is the mailers or the parcel bags or delivery pouches, which is a great substitute for what you receive when you order something from Amazon or you ship something through DHL or FedEx. So we have been making this cassava mailers, and some big brands here in the Philippines have actually switched to the cassava mailers so that they can lessen their plastic footprint. Especially because nowadays, e-commerce is a way of life. Everyone shops online. In your household, I'm sure you receive something through the mail at least once a month because your son, your daughter, your wife has shopped online. So, yeah. Next slide, please. And then we have the grip hole bag, which is great for retail shops that sell clothes, jewelry, books, magazines, and those kinds of things. So, of course, it's very similar to the t shirt bag design, but it gives a more premium look. So, it's more aligned with dry goods and not food. Next slide, please. So we also have the multi-use pouch. The multi-use pouch can be used in many different ways. If you are in the fashion business, this could be used as garment wraps. This could also be used again for produce. It's great for gift wrapping, and it can also be used in many different ways. So one of the things that I would like to propose to the US market is to use this as pet poop bags. So, like the doggy bags to pick up the waste of your pets, that would be a good way to repackage and rebrand our multi use pouch. Other ways also would be to use it as gift wrapping. So, that's another option. Next slide, please. The bigger the bigger sizes for our multi-use pouches can be reused or rebranded or repackaged as laundry bags or trash liners. So I am a user of our own product. I've been using these bags for 3 years as my laundry bag. And then when I pick up my laundry, I reuse them as trash liners and they work perfect. Um, so it's another thing that's good to sell. If you have a grocery, you can resell it as laundry bags or trash liners. Okay, next slide, please. So we have standard designs, of course. We have the popular I am a cassava bag design or the hindi ako plastic design. But we have the capacity to print branding or logos or different designs in our bags depending on what you, our client, would want. So if you want to print your brand or logo, we can do that definitely. Um, or we can come up with funny and witty ways of saying hindi ako plastic in different languages, right? Next slide, please. We also can produce our bags in 12 different colors. So I know that I'm only presenting 10 in this deck, but we also have green and we also have aquamarine. So we do that, and we can print brands and logos in the standard white and black, red, green, yellow. So actually, we can close the presentation here, Bong, and we can just have a free discussion after.
All right, we're back. So, Tina, what I'm really trying to reach out to the audience, and thank you for that presentation. That's exactly what I'm hoping that you would do, and just get to the facts of the product and what it can do, right? So, at the end of the day, tell us about. I want to go back into more about Sachi Group. Why did you guys do that? Why did you feel like there's such a big need for this? And what are your hopes for the US market as far as that's concerned? What do you think of it?
Yeah. Well, of course, obviously we got into this business because all of us have this desire to really help the situation of Mother Earth, right?
Mhm.
um, the plastic pollution problem is everybody's problem. It's not just the government's problem. It's not just like the surfer's problem, right, or the mountaineer's problem. All of us, we all have ownership in this problem. So that's why we came up with this company. We wanted to do business with a purpose. And we feel that it would be good to offer this to the US market because a lot of the states in the US already are trying to push to ban single use plastics, right? Although the nature of the cassava bag is still quite single use, right?
Mhm.
It's still quite single use. The nature of our bags are still technically single use. However, it's non toxic for the environment. So if you're forced to really put it away, it's not going to harm the rivers in the United States, the mountains, and all that. Plus, we should be proud that a Filipino company is now able to manufacture something very innovative like this cassava bag.
I like the idea. I mean, let's hover a little bit over what you just said. The fact that Emporium is a big proponent of quality products, and not just because we're not promoting Philippine products just because they're from the Philippines. I mean, they have to have a great quality, global quality, and they're sustainable, and it solves a problem. And I think ever since we started talking a few months ago and doing all this, I've become more sensitive to the plastic bags that we actually
Oh,
use.
thank
Right?
you.
So I feel like at the end of the day, what I'm trying to really bring out to the people that are watching us, whether you're watching this live or not, I am lazy as heck when it comes to trying to figure out recycling. My wife does all of that. But ever since I got into this product, the cassava bag, it's the most simplest thing that you could use. And to sort of curve the use of plastic. I feel like I agree with you, Tina. I don't think we'll ever get to that point. Well, nobody's ever going to use plastic. Obviously, there's purpose for that, but we need to reduce it. That's my word. We need to reduce it. If there's something alternative that's easy to use, I think really people should use it. And I want to show everybody something that anybody watching me right now, this is where my mind was blown as far as what you can do with this. Because when I go walking in the morning, I see so many stupid plastic bags just thrown around all over the street. Some people pick it up, some people don't. But I mean, I'm being sarcastic here, but if you see cassava bag floating around, I'm not worrying about that cassava bag, because I know it's going to compost. And let me show you what I mean by that. So go ahead and keep talking while I set this up, Tina.
Yes. So, you don't have to be in a city, right? I mean, because even in places like farms, everyone should be worried about the amount of plastics that are used. It's plastics aren't just popular in cities. So, here in this video, are you about to play it?
Yeah, I'm gonna play this, and this is on their Instagram
Yes,
account.
that's
I
your
love it.
Instagram.
I love what this thing shows, and hopefully you guys can show it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and then let you decide what you think of it.
So this is actually a great test. If there are other fakes out there, all they have to do is try and dissolve the bag in boiling water. And if it doesn't dissolve, that means that there's another, the bags are made out of something else.
Well, that's exactly what I was just trying to point out, that for all you lazy people out there who just, I mean, I'm appealing to them from a practical standpoint. You literally can just go ahead and get rid of the bag, put hot water and start to dissolve it. Now, I actually have it here now in the US. Okay. It's right here. Um, the feel of it is totally different. It's not, and it's very sturdy. Okay, so you don't have to feel like it's gonna break or whatever. I know that Tina, you told me that you don't really want it to get wet, just like what you saw, right? But again, what do you use? Again, review why this is a great product, and the strength of it, and then the durability, like you said. See?
Yeah. So that particular design that you're currently holding, that would be great for weekend markets. That would be great for groceries. That would
Mhm.
be great for bazaars and all these activities, right? It's best for dry goods, I would have to say, because as I mentioned earlier, the bags are purely plant-based, and anything that is plant-based is typically very sensitive to moisture in the atmosphere.
Mhm.
So if you're gonna go buy fruits with it or vegetables, that's fine. But of course, wag lang yung basa na isda. Hindi pwede yon.
Oh, you mean you can't put wet fish, or like go to the Filipino place and then your dinuguan spills over, that kind of
No,
thing.
it's not meant to. It's not meant to hold well for, yeah, things like viands, right, or even hot rice. It's not good for that, especially if the thing is very hot, because then the cassava bag will stretch and eventually bear a hole, especially if the temperature of the food is very hot. But let's say you are an owner of a restaurant,
Mhm.
and you have a lot of, let's say burger takeouts or sandwich takeouts. That's okay to place in the cassava bags, right?
Mhm.
Um, but let me go back to the point that I was trying to drive at earlier, because you were talking about walking in a city and seeing so much plastic everywhere. But I
Mhm.
wanted to just remind everyone that it's not just in the cities that we see plastic. No, even in farms, a lot of farms, you'll see a lot of plastic, because plastic is used for um uh the, I'm forgetting the word now, what do you call baby trees?
Saplings,
Seedlings, saplings,
seedlings,
yes.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So farmers use a lot of plastic also in their planting processes, but cassava bags is a great alternative to these plastic bags that they use for those seedlings, saplings, or even for mulching. So if there's anyone in the farming world right now watching in the US, we hope that you would be interested to test the cassava bags or the material and see if it can work for your farming activities.
See, to me, the reason why we're doing this product introduction is because there's so much potential. I'm going to get into the sales opportunities of the bag. We've already told you how not only it's plant based,
Mm-mm.
and it's easy to, it solves that problem of all these reduction in plastic. Mind you, I'm not telling you we're going to get rid of plastic bags, because it's not, that's not going to happen to a certain degree, right? But
Yes.
what we are trying to do is we're trying to create this opportunity for you to sort of open your eyes, and not you as a seller. I'm hoping that whoever's watching us right now, you may know some of the people that I might list, in this presentation or this product introduction. So maybe a light bulb will go on and you go, great, we can try to sell it there. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to find brand ambassadors, people that really believe not only in the environment, but also maybe you do know people. And this is that type of a product where it's not like stylish clothes or jewelry or a car, anything glamorous or whatever. So that's why it needs people that are very passionate about changing the environment, or at least not making it worse. Okay, I'll put it there. I'm so, my standard has become so low that I feel like I'm just saying, let's not make it any worse at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
I
Okay.
think the market in the US should be able to give shoppers, buyers, and all their clients an alternative,
Yes.
right? So we're not saying only use cassava bags, but you definitely have to have it as an option, because if you're a business person in the US, you will definitely have a client that wants a greener option.
Hmm. So with that being said, so the people that are listening to me right now, the people that could definitely create some sort of awareness of these products. Let me go ahead and tell you, you might know some of these people. So I mean, at least these areas. So to me, I'm thinking right away grocery stores and supermarkets. How about chains like Trader Joe's? The people that are watching me, you guys know, and most of the people that are watching me are in Southern California, so you know what Trader Joe is. So if I don't go for them, you should. I mean, it's a big market, right? Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, co-op markets, those are in the grocery store market. You can know somebody in those markets and maybe experiment with them, or you can go to the buyer, right? How about retail stores like
But
Patagonia,
can I just
H&M?
interject? Like, for
Go ahead.
example, for Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, uh, the groceries themselves don't necessarily have to use it as an option for the bags, but they can sell Trader Joe's cassava trash liners, or Trader Joe's, diba,
Yes, good
laundry
point.
bags branded as Trader Joe's, or branded as Whole Foods, or branded as whatever. I'm sure there are a lot more. They're not the only players, right?
Yeah.
But yes, go back to what you were saying.
No, no, no.
Patagonia.
I didn't even know that part, right? I mean, they don't have to be the one using it, but they the one who could sell the product as a trash liner. Good point. All right, so
Yeah,
how about retail stores, right? Retail stores like Patagonia, H&M, Zara, they all focus on sustainability products, and using the cassava bags, they're not going to be worried too much about the price to a certain degree. Of course, it still has to be competitive, but at the end of the day, these are the brands that are all about sustainability too. So that's two. Three, every time I get something from Amazon, and my wife and my son, they buy all the stuff there, right? I see it in these plastics, right? Just like what you were saying, right, Tina? All of those can be cassava bags. How about restaurants and food chains, fast food chains like Starbucks, McDonald's, and local eatery, that they can do it for takeout and delivery, because they just don't make plastic bags. Ako, I mean, Sachi Group, they do a lot of other type of packaging. This is just one of them. And then how about we go after groups like Greenpeace, the Sierra Club, and then how about educational institutions, universities, schools, cassava bags in their cafeterias, right?
yeah. So a
I've
lot
got
of companies in the States, I'm sure, um, they might find it hard to, insert the cassava bag as something that they have to use in their daily operational activities, but they can at least try to do it for CSR activities, fun runs, maybe when they give out school supplies. So for example, um, Titan, the importer of Nike in the Philippines, they had a week-long warehouse sale of the Nike shoes, and they only used our cassava bags for that week-long sale. Makati Medical Center, one of the most popular hospitals here in the Philippines, They had a fun run just 2 weeks ago, and they gave all their runner kits in cassava bags. So, those are ways on how you guys in the States can introduce the products to different companies, right? So it
Hmm.
doesn't have to only be seen as a grocery bag or what. In fact, it's here in the Philippines, a lot of expos contact us and use our cassava bags as the welcome kit to the expo, because they know
Yeah.
that, okay, they're gonna have to give away like 3,000 welcome kits, because usually those
Yes.
expos are attended by at least 3,000 people, and they don't want to use plastic. So, these are different ways to introduce the product to the market, right?
Exactly. And that's why I'm just giving you some of these thoughts, but obviously Tina has more in detail. I'm just all about the user, right? But I never thought of the way she's just mentioning it. And that's the reason why I'm glad she's the one doing the presentation. But let me finish off the rest of the ideas here. Event planners and companies who do organized festivals, conferences, right? Eight,
Mm.
corporate offices. Okay, they can replace plastic bag with cassava bags. Health and wellness brands, right? Like the Honest Company. If you guys want to Google them, they can use cassava bag. And then last but not least are the government agencies. Now, that's a lot of people to reach out to. Now, if you're Filipino, great. You want to represent the Philippines in terms of promoting this product. If you're an entrepreneur, um, Ako and Tina and the Sachi group are amazing at trying to make these things happen. So if you're out there, whether you're the one who's going to buy it, or maybe you can refer or become an ambassador for the product, that's what we're just trying to come across, is for you to
Yeah,
maybe open your eyes that way, right, Tina?
that's right. And yeah, not just limited to the US. I'm sure some of your audience members are connected to Canadian shores, right? So we can also bring it there.
Oh yeah. At the end of the day, this is a well-connected world with social media and all of that. You just need to get the word out. I'm very proud to present this product in the market, in the place where I'm at, and hopefully it can grow from there. So, what I promised in all my posting is that we're going to do a 30-minute product presentation. We're not here to keep going on and on about the product. That's what
Yeah.
videos are for, and we're going to play it again later on. Now, what I do want to do is that if you're watching me right now, along with Tina here, if you're interested in finding more details about this product, like how do you become a brand ambassador, how much are these products? We'll talk about that. What we'll do is we'll take a quick break, literally take a quick break. I'll play the video of EcoNest again. And if you guys want to stick around, ask some questions, let's do it that way. So this way, the people that may have to go, you can do it later. But right now, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to play you a video of the founder of Sachi Group, and she can go ahead and tell you a little bit more about the company. And then in the meantime, we'll just take a quick break. It's a 5-minute video. Okay? Is that okay,
Okay.
Tina? All right. Let's go ahead and see if I can go ahead and play that video. And then we're just going to take a quick break. So, as far as the official product introduction, we're done. We can move on. Now, it's just that if you have some questions about the product itself, then please go ahead and post it, and we can go from there. So, let me go ahead and see if I can play that video. And I think let's see, we're good. Here we go. We'll take a quick break.
Whether for takeout food, clothing, gadgets, or makeup, we all order something online. But with every order, there's just a lot of packaging that comes with your package. Here's what we got when we ordered clothes: makeup and skincare products, takeout food, and gadgets. That's a lot of waste just for packaging, and these rarely get disposed of properly. All this packaging waste from online shopping is damaging our planet every day. Let's unpack the problem and learn why composting is the better solution to our waste problem, and why we cannot solve this by recycling or segregating alone. Did you know that e-commerce industry has grown by 31% in the last 3 years, and it is expected to grow more by $300 billion in 2025? Imagine all the packaging waste this produces. 48% of marine litter and plastic pollution in the Philippines is from packaging. It's the biggest contributor from 2017, and it is expected to continue to grow. In fact, COVID-19 has worsened the ocean plastic pollution problem. Drastic increase in use of masks and gloves has threatened the health of our seas. PPE has also driven to increased plastic pollution. So has the food industry, where single-use plastic is going through the roof as a result of increased takeout. What started as a health crisis promptly evolved into an environmental threat, and this is mainly due to pandemic response. 12 kilograms. That is how much plastic packaging a person consumes in average in the Philippines every year. 0.28 to 0.75 million tons of all this plastic packaging enter our oceans from the coastal areas in Manila Bay every year. Some of it you can recycle, but it's not the most efficient solution. It takes a lot of resources to produce a single-use packaging. These things we only use for a few minutes or even seconds before they turn into trash. When these trash are disposed of, even when we try to segregate them, they can still end up in landfills. All of those paper, plastic, and more are destroyed. This makes these packaging items no longer viable for recycling. All this waste also means we have to go out there and extract resources again and replace those single-use items. Our current waste management systems are just not enough to keep all this waste from polluting our waterways, oceans, and even the air we breathe. Composting is the better solution to our waste problem. Home composting is low maintenance. All you need is a compost bin and a little bit of garden space. Vegetable scraps, fruit peels, ground coffee, and eggshells. They can be put into your compost bin along with your compostable packaging. EcoNest Philippines prevent the consequences of plastic pollution by introducing eco-friendly products such as cassava bags when melted are safe to be consumed by living organisms. Sugarcane bagasse containers, when broken into smaller pieces, decompose as fast as 90 days, and other wood and paper-based packaging that are bio-based and biodegradable. Once fully composted, you can use it in your garden to enrich the soil. EcoNest Philippines continue to work with different businesses to cure mindsets of our community. We have teamed up with Bokashi Pinoy and Don Bosco Tondo in building small farmlands and harvest cycles to promote proper management of solid waste.
Ang isang magandang adikain ay pinagtutulungan natin to sa mga EcoNest, Bokashi, at ang mga tao sino pang maaaring tumulong para nang sa ganon, hindi lamang para magkaroon ng gulay para sa ating pagkainan, pero higit sa lahat para magkaroon tayo ng isang magandang mundo na ligtas sa anumang hindi maganda katulad ng pollution o anumang mga sakit na maaaring maidulot ito dahil sa mga food waste natin.
Apart from this, EcoNest has been supporting other local initiatives across the country. The COVID-19 pandemic posed great challenges for all of us. But through our Sustainability Alliance, we were able to support a number of initiatives amidst the pandemic, the eco-friendly way. Because of our collective efforts in our first few years, we diverted more than 2 million pieces of plastic items or 30 tons of plastics from entering our waste system. Our team of creative, passionate, and goal-oriented individuals share the same vision of creating a greener planet. We are committed to circularity, aiming to provide you with not just eco-friendly alternatives, but to educate the community on the proper disposal of our items to be used as renewable energy and compost. Act with us. Achieve your sustainability goals with us. Together, we will live sustainably.
And we're back. So the people have stuck around. So I don't know exactly if you guys are still there. But we're going to continue to talk a little bit more about the awareness and the selling part of the product. Because at the end of the day, what we're looking for, we're looking for help. Okay, I'm gonna go say it like that, because at the end of the day, this is a task where it has to come from somebody who really loves the idea of contributing to the reduction of plastic in our environment. I don't want to go ahead and lean on the fact that you can make money from it, which you can, honestly, but at the end of the day, we want you to do it because you believe in doing something for the environment also, and then making something of it. So, Tina, why don't we hang around for another couple of minutes to see if anybody is willing to maybe ask us some questions? The people that are currently still watching us, what I want to do at this point is tell us a little bit about the people that are currently selling your products in the Philippines and how they're doing that right now.
Okay. Um, a lot of our clients are actually not resellers. Majority of our clients are end users of the product. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the popular French brand Decathlon. Decathlon is one of our biggest clients in the Philippines. So if you order any product from Decathlon online in the Philippines, you will receive your rubber shoes, leggings, all the sportswear that you order from them in their blue and Decathlon branded cassava mailer pouch. So that's one way that it's highly being used. That's how it's highly being used in the Philippines. Um, Havaianas, the slipper company, they also deliver their slippers in the Philippines using our cassava bags. We do also, of course, have other clients that use it to send out their catalogs. So we have a very popular art gallery. um, they send out about 5,000 catalogs of all the art that they have for sale, and they send it out only in our cassava bags as well. So, very similar to Decathlon, it's used as a parcel bag, right? But then we also have different clients like this very nice, warm fashionista person, Bayong Siaga. He puts together all his Philippine made bags and wraps it in our large natural cassava bag. So I'm sure you've gone to like a department store, or you've gone to like a deli, and sometimes those gift baskets are wrapped in plastic pa rin, right?
Mhm.
So some of our clients have started to use wrapping their items in cassava bags. We also have a lot of clients who are cafes, and their takeouts are in cassava bags. If you visit Boracay in the future, you might book your stay in Discovery Boracay or Crimson Boracay, and you'll notice that their food takeout is given in our cassava bags as well. So yeah, and
Well, so
so
you
it's a
basically
lot of
you
users.
basic well, you basically have you've proven that it's a viable product. I think one of the things that I think people will wonder about is really, the pricing at the end of the day. That's
Mhm.
why if nobody's gonna if there's some questions out there, if you guys have any questions or you want to reach out to me or even reach out directly to Tina, to as far as that's concerned, then go ahead and do that if you want to know more a little bit about the pricing. But the other thing that I was thinking about is the other day I took out my dry cleaning this jacket that I'm wearing, and they had it wrapped in this plastic. The dry cleaning. I don't know if you seen that too, Tina, but
Yes.
that's a great place. Right now they're trying to show that the chemicals that they use for dry cleaning is not hurting the environment, right? So I was thinking about, well, why don't I just lean into that and tell them, well, here's another way to clean up your reputation, so to speak, by having these plastic bags made from cassava. That's why I
Yeah.
was gonna go about the product. You can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Tina. We did
Yeah.
have some comments in the system, in the system. Uh, the one that I wanted to acknowledge was Mark Javier. Mark Javier was excited to see the presentation because he deals in plants. I think shipping products or plants from the Philippines to here. I think that's what he did. He does, and I thought this would be interesting for him. So he made a comment. That's one of them. and then Matt Maderaso. Have you ever? Do you know who Matt Maderaso is, Tina?
No, I'm not
Okay.
familiar with Matt.
He's actually in the Philippines, and I thought maybe you might know who he is. He says it's better to promote in the U.S. rather than here. The only LGU that created a law banning use of plastic is QC, but it's just for a shorter period of time because the problem it really is in the implementation.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to implement a lot of rules in the Philippines, but we should try. We should still try. If
Hmm.
no one tries, then who will, 'di ba?
No, I
S-
mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you're definitely going to continue. He just thinks that because I know Matt, he is in agriculture in the Philippines. He's actually in the Philippines,
yeah.
so he has made that observation already that we definitely need to market here, and we are going to continue to do that. So, with that being said, if we don't really have anyone who wants to ask more a little bit about the product, be more than happy to do that. Just reach out to Tina or EmPHorium, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. Because sometimes I find that people are watching. Maybe one time somebody told me, "Man, I really like your product. I want to do it, but I was driving at the time, and or I was in the middle of this." So people are listening, but they may not be focused on what they're doing. And I don't want to be the cause of some accident. So if you
I'm
watch
not
this
sure if
video,
you might want to share my contact details and
sure,
flash it on screen.
go ahead. And you know what I'm going to do here? Let me see if I can show the information. Uh, I'm going to show the Sachi group. Okay, they can go through there. They can go do that information too. So hold on for a moment. Let me see if I could do that. Share screen. Okay, so can you see there? Well, I don't know. She can. I need to write it down or something because I need to see.
But those are not my details. I mean,
Oh my God.
it will still get to my inbox though. If they email info@sachi.group, that will enter my inbox. So that's fine.
Okay, let me see if I can go ahead and do that real quick. Info at Sachi Group. Okay, SachiGroup.com, right? Info at SachiGroup.com.
Yeah. Or business@sachi.group. There's no com. No, it's info@sachi.group.
Oh, info at Sachi.group. All right.
Yes. Or
My bad. My bad.
business@sachi.group.
All right.
Sorry,
Sachi.
sorry.
It's all right. It's my. I should have paid attention to that earlier. Okay, so Sachi Group. Easy enough to change. All right, so here's her information. All right, here you go. Oops, sorry. Here you go. There. Is that the one? Tina?
Yes.
Did I get it
That's
right?
correct.
Okay, good.
Yes, that's
All right.
correct. Yes.
So
Yeah.
Mark Javier, he says, thank you for the questions for Tina. It's impressive that you have been able to close business end users, customers. What are the main reasons that businesses are using it? That'll be our
Well, there's
last.
only one main reason. They really want to lessen their plastic footprint. So I think that it really has to come from that will to want to do better. Because admittedly, Mark, our prices aren't going to compete with plastic. That's for sure. So I'm gonna put this out there already. We're not cheap, but we need your help to increase demand because that's the only way we can lower prices. If demand goes up, prices can go down. But the product is quite new, so we're not there yet. So Decathlon, obviously, they're a French company. They have a very strong stance on not using plastic. So that's why they've decided to work with us. The the lady behind the company that imports Havaianas to the Philippines has the same mindset. So that's one reason why they use cassava bags. And then of course, a lot of hotels, restaurants, and cafe clients that we have, it's the same reason. They really just want to lessen their plastic footprint. And to be honest, some of them just don't want to. They want to support Philippine made packaging because a lot of the packaging that a lot of hotels, restaurants, and cafes use in the Philippines are still coming from neighboring big Asian countries. Of course, I want to avoid saying who because I don't want to be canceled. Diba?
Yeah. Oh, that could be easily done, but yes, I agree. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and end the show here because again, we did what we want, which was to create awareness for cassava bags, for the Sachi group here in the U.S. with the people that I have. I mean, the road is still long, but
Mhm.
I want to end it by saying that, like Tina was saying, we're not technically selling this thing on price. You have to have a passion for doing something, and it makes sense for certain business models like the Shushi mentioned, like all those brands that I mentioned that are more about taking care of the environment. And one thing that I am very excited about is that when you work with the Sachi group, and when I've been working with Tina, they're all very helpful. They all want to go ahead and they're very passionate about what they do. So to me, that's going to translate to, if you're interested in being able to promote this here in the US, they're easy to work with. So please go ahead and reach out to them or to me, whichever one is easier for you. All right. So with
Yeah.
that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye here. And I'm going to go thank you, Tina. And this is not going to be the last one that we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and continue to promote this bag in this medium. And hopefully we'll get more people to listen in and ask more questions in detail. And hopefully you guys find it amazing as much as I did.
Thank you, everyone. See you again soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.